Welcome to the Alive Loren Podcast and the place of celebrating full, juicy, whole, living, adventuring on this journey of a lifetime. And it's been quite a few days. It's interesting. Sometimes it feels like, there's stuff to share and to say, and sometimes it feels like there's stuff to be still with. I just wanted to give voice to and honor a few simple things that happened that just felt like sometimes in the daily unfolding, it feels like there's reminders from the universe just in the everyday happenings. Things that, like sometimes just being with what is, trusting, not necessarily seeing the whole picture, but just taking the next step. And sometimes when my youngest son makes a little bit of gentle fun with me, that I sometimes read or see more into things. If it just reminds me of stuff that helps me live from a more grateful, present, trusting place, then I'm glad for that. And that was just some of yesterday. I really like Mickey's teachings, Mickey Singer, full of reminders of happiness and peace really being from a place deep within, a place beyond, just like we have physical objects that are very easy to identify on the outside, from our bodies to cars and phones and laptops, that are things we experience. They're not who we are. They're thoughts and feelings. To really consider looking at those as well on the inside. They're just objects on the inside. They're not who we are. They're things we feel and experience. And to feel and experience them, but just to be aware of not getting distracted, very caught up, very kind of clinging or resisting of any of them. So it's not about not feeling deeply. It's just not about, like wandering off and getting lost in them for, days, years, God knows. So sometimes I find myself very much distracted by my world, my inner world of thoughts and feelings, and aware of it, but not, I can feel it. Because I'm definitely not touching a place of groundedness and presence and that from within. It's, getting lost in preference or kind of the part of me that buys into stuff on the outside needing to change. Just yesterday, I just enjoyed the gentle reminders that I use one of the old sort of headsets. It's actually the Apple headset with the cable. And at work, we often have calls, and I just find that people can hear me clearly. It fits well into my ears. And in a weird kind of strange way, had lost my pair. Now I'd been somewhere with my older son on Sunday, and there was, because it's this old jack, this one that fits into laptops and all phones, not just Apple phones, it's one they're not making anymore, and they have the Apple end, and we were somewhere that had the very last one, but I was so sure that I'd find mine, but I didn't get it on that day. And then also yesterday I had a call and got a wireless pair, but it just wasn't so easy pairing it with everything, and the quality wasn't as good. So I just decided to mission back to this little mall. It's not a place I'm very familiar with, and I remember thinking I could just see all these thoughts going in directions that aren't helpful because I don't know, thinking, what if they don't have, what if they're sold out of the last one, what if I don't find the store, because I couldn't remember exactly. We'd wandered around where it was, but it was just go in the direction of the mall and you'll figure it out when you get there. And when I got there, landed up coming across another store that didn't have, and then there was a store that was like a cell phone accessory place, but it was closed. And then I remember the one saying that they open till 9, and then it didn't look like the same one. But it seemed there was only one member of staff, so actually at the one point he'd taken a break or gone to the toilet, and he'd closed the front of the shop. So yeah, it was just, and then it was open, and then he had the very last one, which I did get, and it was, yeah, it just felt like that reminder that it's okay not to see the whole picture. It's really okay. Just take the very next step. And then because I was in that area on the way back, where I am at the moment, there's an area with a health shop, and they sell so pop to this health shop, and yeah, they just haven't bought dairy in a long time because I don't know how the animals are treated. And there's like an organic goat farm in the desert where they talk about pastures with frolicking goats and using very sort of old methods, and it's just nice to support that. And then when I was there, I'd recently made a batch of trying to make these, like just squelching some really soft dates with chopped up walnuts into like a big shape and cutting it into squares, and then I dunked them in chocolate, but the best I had at the time was 70%, which is still quite sweet. So I'm at this shop, and the only cacao paste, they only got one brand of cacao paste, and when I get to the till, the lady points out another brand that's 90%, and it's really nice. The other one's very natural, so yeah, there's a process that hasn't been done, so it doesn't melt as well. So then there's another brand that's very nice, and she mentions to me that there's a special of 3 for the price of 2. It wasn't obvious on it, but she must have seen because I bought the other chocolate product. And again, it was just, I felt like it was a reminder to just show up and take the steps and do what you feel guided. And if there's something additional for you to know, be aware of, for me to know, be aware of it, it will be pointed out. And yeah, it can seem really simple and obvious and reading into things too much, but yeah, it just was reminders that I really needed and was grateful for. And then I've been treating myself. So I was referred to the series Ted Lasso, and every now and again kind of treat myself to watching an episode or half an episode, and I just really loved, there was also like a line and a reference to being open to sometimes universal guidance in decisions, just being present and seeing what's unfolding, and that intuitive sense. It was really lovely. And then there was another one as well with a young woman who'd worked for like her best friend who was older than her, and then she got offered like quite a substantial opportunity, and she wasn't quite sure how to communicate it to her friend because she didn't want her friend to feel she hadn't been grateful for the opportunity to work there. And it was such a beautiful line because one of the guys she was speaking to said that a good mentor hopes you'll move on, and a great mentor knows you'll move on. And yeah, it was just very sweet and well scripted, and really, really loved it. So they were all very healthy, wholesome reminders. And on that note, so here is to being open to gentle receiving, gentle reassuring communications and insights just from the daily unfolding, and yeah, being present and as best grateful we can, and just to do the best we can, because sometimes ideas of presence and witnessing can feel very simple intellectually, but I don't know, personally sometimes in terms of practically living from that space can feel quite a lot more challenging. I do certainly notice that thoughts and emotions can distract me all too easily. Wow. So, wishing you happy adventuring, precious heart.